I'm so thrilled that we are taking time to explore how to build the foundations of faith for our families, our children, and the emerging generations. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the importance of prayer. I am of Greek Orthodox background. My mum's English and my dad Greek Cypriot, and I was raised in the tradition of the Cypriot family, which meant that every Sunday our families would descend into central London to my grandmother's house, my yaya, where we would sit and we would eat together. It was like Christmas every week. And if you've ever seen my big fat Greek wedding, that is very close to the truth of how we were. But the meal would always start with my grandmother praying grace. She prayed grace over all those sat at the table. She was thankful to God for our presence and that we were well. She prayed grace over the food that was provided and over God's provision for our lives. She prayed grace over our destiny, that when we left the table, the promises of God over our lives would be fulfilled. Albeit none of us were really following Jesus at that time, she prayed faithfully week in, week out for us. That practice of grace never left me. When I grew up in gang culture, when I was involved in drug dealing and promiscuous relationships and violent crime, I never forgot grace. I never forgot the prayers of my grandmother. I never actually forgot the existence of God. Here we are as leaders trying to equip our church members and our families how to lead life through a very physical, digital, toxic world. But the Bible teaches us that we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but principalities and powers. And so where we're so trying to resource within the physical realm of how to live and lead life well, actually we're called to engage in the invisible realm, where our prayers will make an invisible but much more powerful impact on those influences that seek to pull down people's lives in so many ways. I want to challenge you and encourage you to think, how are we curating resources and training and platforms to pray for family? Whether for parents, carers, for guardians, whatever the realm of family might look like, what is the culture of prayer? The scriptures teach us that the nearness of God is good for us. And when we teach families how to pray, we're teaching them how to invite the nearness of God into our homes, whether it be at that kitchen table, whether it be a prayer rhythm in the car, whether it be the secret prayers of a mother for their children. I want to encourage you to think through, what are we doing to equip others to pray? I am so very aware that my own salvation was down to two things: the grace of God and praying people. So I encourage you as leaders to think as a priority how to develop the culture of prayer within your communities, within your spheres of influence when it comes to praying for families and for children, knowing that our prayers will shift the invisible realms that will manifest the goodness of God in the physical. Bless you. Thanks for listening to me today.